If you thought that the Israelis' army couldn't be worse, well, here we just did it. They were torturing a 1-year-old child. They tortured a 1-year-old child. Israeli soldiers tortured a 1-year-old child in Gaza, including burning his leg with a cigarette and inserting a nail into his leg. That was according to a report to pressure his father to make confessions. Here it is. Israeli soldiers reportedly torture 1-year-old child in Gaza to force confessions from his father. Palestine TV reported, citing Palestinian journalist Osama al-Khalhout. It aired footage showing injuries to the child, identified as Karim, after he was detained by Israeli forces near the El Maghazi refugee camp in central Gaza. Witnesses say the child's father, Osama Abu Nassar, was traumatized after the death of a horse he used for income. While taking his child to buy supplies, he was caught up in gunfire near his home and was forced by Israeli soldiers to leave his 18-month-old son on the ground and approach a nearby military checkpoint where he was stripped and interrogated. The forces tortured the child in front of his father, including burning one of his legs with cigarettes, pricking him, and inserting a nail into his leg, as confirmed by a medical report. The report said the child suffered burn marks from cigarettes and puncture wounds in his leg caused by the nail. The child was released about 10 hours later and handed over to his family through the International Committee of the Red Cross in El Maghazi, while the father remains in Israeli detention. The family has appealed to international organizations to intervene to secure the father's release so he can continue receiving medical treatment. So somebody asked Grok if this was, somebody says, hey, Grok, are there independent verified reports of this incident outside of Hamas terror group affiliated reporting? And here's what Grok says. Grok says, no, there are no independent verified reports of this specific incident from neutral international sources like Reuters, BBC, the AP, the UN, or Amnesty International. It originates solely from Gaza-based Palestinian journalist Osama al-Khalhout, aired on Palestinian TV, with images shared by Kudznen and echoed by Turkish state media. The medical report and footage are unexamined by third parties. No IDF comment or forensic analysis are available yet. Claims of child abuse and conflicts require rigorous cross-verification, which is absent here. That's what Grok says.
No IDF report? Is that a joke? By the way, the Hamas is more honest than Israelis.
100%.
Hamas are more honest than Israelis by a lot.
100%. Gato Fumars asks, does Israel allow international journalists to work independently within Gaza, though? So that would be the question. The reason is the reason why we don't have any independent journalists confirming this is because they're not allowed into Gaza?
I know they kill Amnesty International for setting foot there, right?
Yeah, and they killed over 200 journalists already in Gaza. So let's see what Grok says back to this. Grok says, no, Israel does not allow independent international journalists to enter or work freely in Gaza. Since October 2023, access has been restricted to limited, escorted embeds, so you only can go in there if you're with the IDF soldiers. This policy continues post-ceasefire despite repeated Foreign Press Association petitions and Supreme Court hearings that have been delayed, with the government upholding the ban as of January 2026.
I'm just going to take Hamas's word for everything. How about that, assholes?
Yeah. So,
scum. Independent. You mean, is there anything independent of Zionists?
So here's the mother of that child. So she's saying they tortured his leg. How? They'd stick a lit cigarette in a metal tube and then press it into his leg and burn him while he was awake. There's the burns. And these are the torture marks. This cigarette here, he said this is from a cigarette. Yeah, this is what they put there. And of course, yeah. Okay. Or they would keep it on him for 2 minutes. That's what I just saw. Peace be upon you. So, that's the world's most moral army. They shouldn't need there's nothing left to say about Israel and the mentality of the Zionists inside of Israel. Religious maniacs, and there's no bigger, sicker religious maniacs than the Jewish Zionists. They're psychopathic, they're murderous, they're homicidal, they torture children, they slaughter children.
They sacrificed Jews on October 7th with an inside job so they could do this stuff to other people.
Yes. That's exactly right.
They did it. That's who did it. Too bad if you don't like it. What do you want? That's what the truth is. Sorry.
Okay, so there's another unbelievably so when you see, hey, they killed 20,000 children or 40,000 children. So there's an old saying, I forget who said it, that you kill one child and it's a tragedy. You kill 10,000 and it's a statistic.
Yeah.
So I think if we bring it down to the level of one child, I think that actually brings it home more about how sadistic these Satan-worshiping Zionists really are.